Hello, and welcome to Sharing Stories, a podcast featuring profiles of help and hope from the Season of Sharing Fund. I'm David Boyer. Did you know that 1 in 5 people in California are experiencing hunger, and 1 out of 3 in San Francisco can't meet their basic needs? What this means is that many of our neighbors are one crisis away from having to choose between rent and necessities like food and medicine. Even in one of the wealthiest regions in the world, precariousness abounds. Thanks to our donors and partner agencies, since 1986, the Season of Sharing Fund has been able to provide some peace of mind to more than 190,000 people in the Bay Area through emergency housing assistance and local food banks. During the pandemic, we saw the vital role that food banks played and increased our giving to them. Now, about 15% of the funds we raise go to Bay Area food banks in each of the 9 counties. And last year, we provided about $2 million to them. Today, we're going to visit one of our partners, the San Francisco-Marin Food Bank. We'll talk to the organization's head of philanthropy in a bit. But I want to start with a volunteer. To be honest, the only thing I know about him is that he's on the food bank's Policy and Advocacy Coalition, and he's willing to meet on short notice. I'm working with Season of Sharing.
Okay.
So we're doing a series of like 5 episodes.
Okay.
4 of them will be people who've received emergency rental assistance, basically.
I've been there a long time ago. Yeah. They helped me move.
Did they?
Yeah.
Season of Sharing?
Yes. They help you with deposits on your rent to get you into a place. And that's what I was able to utilize many, many, many years ago. It can be traumatic trying to come up with that kind of money to move when you know you need to get out of the place that you're in because it's just a bad surrounding. And I had a lot of that going on and I needed to get the heck out of there. They helped me to get situated into a new apartment. They took good care of me. And I'm seeing they're doing that for other people too. And I'm just grateful that I can do something for them now to actually give back to what they gave to me. So it means something.
Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Troy Brunet. I am a volunteer. I'm HIV positive and AIDS disabling. So I've been through a long journey of recovery. 25 years ago, I was in a coma, almost left this planet. And now that I am back on my feet and moving through it, I do a lot of volunteer work in the community. I like to help people. When I went through coming out of a coma in a wheelchair, roaming around this city, from a wheelchair to walkers to crutches to back to it again, because then I find out I have something else because of the medication that kept me alive, deteriorated the bones in my body. So then I've had 19 surgeries and replacements on every joint in my body, basically. Yeah, so where I can help, because people were there to help me, I'm gonna help.
And he has, volunteering his time and energy with many Bay Area nonprofits.
I've worked with Project Homeless Connect, San Francisco General Hospital, the National AIDS Memorial Grove, and Quilt. Who else here? San Francisco AIDS Foundation, their Dining Out for Life event.
And what about the food bank? What's your connection?
My connection to the food bank is the Policy and Advocacy Coalition that I'm on. And I'm on the list to receive food from the food bank. I get it on Tuesdays at St. Francis.
For somebody who's never been, what's it like picking up food at St. Francis?
For people that are talkers, it's actually fun. It can be interesting because you meet a lot of people. You know, I see some of the people in line there, hey, Troy, you know, and it's all of that. So we become kind of like friends and small family in a sense because we need the same things. And, when people get something that they can't use, they'll make sure somebody else gets it. So that I like. There's only so much that I can use sometimes in some things I don't eat. So then I'll pass it on to a neighbor. A friend of mine, she lives down the hall. She's by herself. So I'll make sure she gets a little bit of something that I can, get her.
Do you remember the first time you got food from the food bank, when that was?
Well, the first time that I got some food from the food bank was, it was an interesting moment in time because I still couldn't believe that I had to go do this. But I'm going to do it because I need to eat. So I was grateful for what they gave us. And I think everybody that goes and gets in those lines are very grateful for the food that they can get. Some people have bigger families they've got to feed, and that's hard. And we all getting about the same amount of food. So for a single person with my partner that loves to cook, So that helps because it gives him, like yesterday, I got home and I could smell the soups on the stove. He had 2 different kinds he was making, using up all the rest of the vegetables that we had for the week so that nothing goes to waste. And I think that's wonderful, so I had a good lunch before I got here today. I look for joy and peace in my world, and that's what I need. And this brings me that, honestly. To get home and go through that food as you're washing it off and cleaning up everything, it's like, wow, yeah, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this. And it's really wonderful. It really, really is.
Food, obviously, it's nutrients, keeps us alive. But what does food mean in your life?
Food means in my life. I am going to be able to live another day in a little bit of peace of mind, because I have to worry about what happens to my body on a daily basis. I live in pain, so anything that's going to minimize that is fantastic for me. So I'm very grateful for it, yeah. I use that word a lot because it's the truth. Grateful, yeah. Being grateful, and then being also grateful that I can make sure somebody else gets something that they need, or at least try to. That makes me very happy.
And what's in a typical, is it a bag?
It's not a bag that they're issued. You can choose what you want out of the fruits and vegetables that they have. For like yesterday was a cantaloupe, cans of beans. There was potato. No, not potatoes. I'm sorry. There were onions. There were carrots, grapefruit, I think it was these little fruit cup things, grapes, eggs. You can pick what you want. If you don't want that, you don't get it. If you do, then they put it in your bag and dump it in. As they say, most of us are rolling around with little carts. So they dump it into the little cart, and you keep it moving to the next person. And they're all in like a semicircle, and very friendly people. I'm a talkative individual, so I'm always, you think, huh? Chatting up people and saying, hey, and it's just nice. You see the same people most of the time that are there volunteering, which is always good. It just makes you more comfortable, and it makes it a little more easy to go somewhere that somebody's giving you something to that degree. That's a lot of money that I brought home yesterday that I don't have on a daily basis to, be able to go and get those things. And the prices of food in the grocery store, it'll just make you crazy these days. It's a lot. It's overwhelming to the point now because everything has gone up. And if it's not on sale, it can't come home. Even if you need it, it cannot come home because you can't afford the prices. The numbers are insane right now. And it's just sad. It really is. People can't get what they need to eat to take care of themselves and their families. They really can't. I don't have much, but when I can give somebody a couple of extra dollars to help them get some meat to go along with the vegetables that they have, I will. I'll do what I can, where I can. And I think that's a lot of people are like that. But it's difficult, man. It really, really is. I went to the store a couple of days ago and picked up a few things, and it was like $40, and I barely had a half a bag of stuff. And it's like, are you kidding me? This is crazy. Yeah. Some juices and bananas. The bananas I don't usually get from the food bank. I don't see those. So I have to have my bananas because I have to take my medicine in the morning. And, to go and get those things, it adds up. Even for that, and I'm looking for the sale prices all the time. So yeah, it's hard. So I think it's just important that Season of Sharing is giving to the food banks to make sure that people can eat. They need to be able to live and thrive and survive in this world. And the only way you can do that is to be fed.
Food insecurity is at one of the worst points that it's been in our history. I'm Chris Padula. I'm the Chief Philanthropy and Engagement Officer here at the San Francisco Marin Food Bank. Hunger is on the rise, and that's because quite a bit of government support has been cut. I mean, we've heard about the recent budget cuts that happened at the federal level, which is going to result in $186 billion in SNAP, which used to be called food stamps, and California is called CalFresh, is going to be cut over the next 10 years. What does that mean in San Francisco and Marin? It's estimated that over 7,500 families will lose their benefits, And we know SNAP, CalFresh is the number one support for folks who are experiencing hunger. So we do everything that we can by providing groceries. Our partners do everything that they can. But at the end of the day, I mean, the need is already high. It's going to continue to get higher because of the cuts. So there's no way that the food bank can fill that big gap. So we're worried about what's going to happen with more and more homes and families that are experiencing hunger. Before the pandemic, we were serving about 32,000 households every single week with groceries. At the height of the pandemic, we were serving about 60,000. Up until June, we were serving about 50,000 households. We're now, due to cuts in government funding that happened over the last 2 years, we're now serving about 36,000 households. And I say that in terms of context, but we can't fill the need that's out there. We already have a wait list of around 8,000 families that are looking to be served. So what are we doing? I mean, we are advocating at the state level, recognizing the cuts that happen at the federal level. We are advocating at the state level for the state of California to do something to fill the gaps around SNAP in particular. We're also advocating at local governments in San Francisco and Marin counties to see how we can help fill the gaps, but local governments are also experiencing deficits. So we're looking at ways that we can increase our services, but it's pretty difficult right now because the need is already higher than what we can reach. And food banks across the country are facing the same challenge right now.
We've got more people out here that can't afford to get what they need, and they need the food banks right now. They really do. I know I do, on a daily, honestly.
So, Troy uses his voice and life experience to advocate on behalf of people who are struggling to feed themselves and their families by volunteering for the Food Bank's Policy and Advocacy Coalition.
And we went to Sacramento to speak out for funds for the CalFresh and the SNAP program to continue for the people that need it.
He knows it's not easy to ask for help.
I think a lot of people can be ashamed of having to go to a food bank because we then begin to realize that we can't afford the things that we need to take care of us. And yeah, it's hard. It's difficult to go and stand in this line and wait for somebody to give you something. But when that time comes around that you really need it to support your life, to keep you getting up in the morning, I take a lot of medicine and I need good food to absorb all of that so that I can keep functioning every day. And I'm very grateful for the food bank for what they give us. The fruits and vegetables help me tremendously. Now and again, we get different meats and things and little extras, which is fantastic. So it all works and it's all very helpful. And I'm just grateful that people can access the food bank, that can get in the lines and get what you need. I wish there weren't so many lines. I wish there weren't so many people that needed the help. But this is where we are right now, and it's a really sad place. But yet we still have food banks that are there. This food bank in particular that's here to literally support people in this city and in Marin as well.
What do you think is the connection between housing and food?
I wish they could go hand in hand easily, but they don't. It's either you get a place to live or you get a lot to eat. It's not always having to be able to have that place to live and having everything you need to eat. A lot of places don't have cooking facilities, so it's difficult for people. Every area, what I've learned over being on the coalition is that different areas do different things because of the situation of housing and the way people live. Like, for instance, in the Tenderloin, they're more given things that can be microwaved or fixed quickly and easily. There's not a lot of chopping stuff to chop up in season because there's no place for them to cook stuff. So it's kind of more quick food, I think, which is good and helpful for them. But I just wish everybody could have the opportunity to actually fix their food, prepare it, and sit down and enjoy it in peace. Because peace is good, man. To find that peace of mind while you're enjoying your meal is a really good thing. It makes it digest better. It makes you feel better. And it gives you some hope, truly.
So the good thing that we're seeing is we have very loyal private donors who are really stepping up. We have individuals, we have corporations, we have foundations that are really loyal. Folks like Season of Sharing recognize what's happening. I mean, Season of Sharing has been one of our most consistent and frankly, one of our highest in terms of dollar supporters that we have. The relationship with Season of Sharing has been over a very long time. I don't know how many years, but it's been going on for a while. And what I love about the Season of Sharing is that consistency. We can really count on that support. You know, most of our expenses are around food, procuring food, and then distributing food. It's kind of a misunderstanding when folks think everything is just donated. So while we do have some donated food, we're still purchasing food. Most of our proteins, most of our grains, proteins like chicken, tofu, fish, but also just inflation has gone up. I mean, the cost of transportation has gone up, the cost of gas has gone up, the cost of products is continuing to go up. And, you know, we were serving significantly more people. I mean, last fiscal year, we distributed 68 million pounds of food, which doesn't really mean much, but just to give you a sense, that's enough food for about 56 million meals. You know, roughly $1 is equal to about 2 meals worth of food, and something like 97% of every dollar is going directly to programs and services for the community.
And so if Season of Sharing didn't donate to the food bank, what would happen? What would you lose?
Well, without Season of Sharing and the hundreds and thousands of donors that support the Season of Sharing fund, you know, when you think about it, that's hundreds of thousands of meals that wouldn't go out into the community. I mean, it's really that. The correlation is so direct. If we don't get 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 through the Season of Sharing, twice as many meals will not go out. One of the biggest misconceptions of people who rely on food banks is that we're serving primarily folks who are unhoused. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I think 96% of the households we're serving, you know, have homes. Over 70% have somebody in their family who's working at least one job or multiple jobs. So there's a lot of working poor who are dependent on the food bank. A lot of seniors who are dependent on the food bank. So I think there's always folks who may not be familiar think, and we certainly have partnerships with large organizations that do congregate food programs, and we're providing the food to those programs, but it's a pretty small percentage overall. You know, San Francisco and Marin are two of the highest costs of living in the country. So when you think about the ability to really afford living here, folks really depend on the groceries from the food bank. At the end of the day, if folks don't have food, then they can't really focus on school. They can't focus on looking for a job. They can't focus on navigating the complex situation. So I do believe at the end of the day, you know, food is the most basic of needs. And we fundamentally believe that food is a human right and people should not be struggling for food. And we are doing everything we can to provide that food, but also equally as important, advocating for the supports and the systems to address why people are experiencing hunger.
Any message to people who donate to Season of Sharing?
We are so appreciative of the Season of Sharing and all of the donors that make the fund possible. Here at the food bank, we've been working with Season of Sharing for decades, and we can't do the work that we're doing today without their support. So thanks to everybody who supports the Season of Sharing.
My message to the people that give to the Season of Sharing would be to please continue to give. Your money is being used wisely. It is taking care of people, and that is what we're here to do. We need to take care of one another, because if not, then who's going to do it? Not everybody can take care of themselves easily, but if you have that little helping hand to pull you up, it makes a huge difference. And that I know for a fact, because I've had those helping hands, and they've pulled me up out of a hell that I went through to be here today, to sit here and talk with you. So thank you for everybody that supports Season of Sharing. Please continue to give. Your money is being used wisely, and we are very grateful for it.
Magic wand, what do you do with it?
If I had a magic wand, I'd wave it all over and pray that it all works to bring up some joy and happiness and peace of mind to everyone on this planet. And some good food, too.
Love that. Thank you for listening, and thanks to Troy, Chris, and the entire San Francisco Marin Food Bank for sharing your story. Sharing Stories is a podcast from Season of Sharing Fund. The Season of Sharing Fund provides one-time financial assistance to individuals and families in the Bay Area during times of crisis, when a little support can have an enormous impact. Together, we help our neighbors remain housed, cared for, and nourished so they can get back on their feet. If you want to hear more stories like this one, go to seasonofsharing.org/podcast. And if you want to give peace of mind to a neighbor in crisis, you can donate to Season of Sharing Fund there too. 100% of your donation will go to providing relief to local people experiencing unexpected crises. And if you or someone you love is experiencing housing or food insecurity, you can always call 211 for assistance. Until next time, I'm David Boyer, and this is Sharing Stories.